Thank you all so much for sending in questions for the Thursday Q&A. Remember, you guys can send in your questions via the description box down below with all the details on how you can do so. I do the Q&As every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel. And boy, oh boy, we reached a milestone with this Q&A. Q&A number 50. Who would have thunk when I rebooted this Q&A we would reach number 50? Well, we're here, damn it, and let's make our way to 100. Let's go 50 more episodes with this damn thing. So let's get started with this one with the Twitter questions. At Piznik64 asks, you think Bo Dallas can hit 174 in Bo? Up to the WWE if they want to book it that way. I think they might have him lose at 50 in Bo, in all honesty, or like 52 in Bo. Some random ass number, in all honesty. I can see him losing it then. But it would be interesting if he did, you know, almost break Goldberg's record. Actually, he would break Goldberg's record with 174 in Bo. So I think it's a possibility, but hey, at the end of the day, we will have to wait and see. At GamerFan361 asks, will you be making more Charger videos once the season starts? Yes, I will be making more NFL/San Diego Superchargers. I'll be making more of those videos once the NFL season starts. You can bet on that. At John Cena is a tool asks, do you think John Cena will ever turn heel? If not, should he? He should turn. I don't think he will ever turn heel as a character. He should turn heel because almost every top star has at least turned heel once in their life. And let's just face it, I mean, look at Batista, look at Hulk Hogan, look at The Rock, look at Stone Cold. You know, at least every top heel, Macho Man as well, has turned heel out once in their life. You can't always be a babyface. You can't always be the good guy. You can't always be the hero in professional wrestling. Sometimes you have to be the bad guy. So, yeah, he should turn heel when the time comes, and I think it's going to come soon. We don't know when, but I definitely think that somewhere down the line, John Cena will realize, maybe I can be a bad guy a little bit. You also asked, what is your dream match featuring a current guy on the TNA roster and a current guy on the WWE roster? I've been saying this for a while now. My current dream match, if that were to ever happen, would be Bobby Roode and Triple H. Triple H is one of my favorite guys from the Attitude Era. Bobby Roode is one of my favorite guys in TNA in general. Has been for a long time since I've been a TNA fan. So I would just love to see Bobby Roode and Triple H wrestle. They wrestle almost exactly the same. They hit the double A spine buster. I mean, they look alike too. Like Bobby Roode is a Canadian Triple H, and Triple H is the American Bobby Roode. So it would just be awesome. I would love to see Bobby Roode versus Triple H. At Johnny Russo asks, although it's more than clear that The Miz is the favorite to win the IC title battle royal, who else can you see winning? Well, that will be for my Battleground 2014 predictions, Johnny Russo. So tune in to see that of who I think will win the Battle Royale this Sunday at Battleground. And you also asked, how stupid will Vince feel if Lesnar comes back to face Cena for the belt and he gets a baby face pop and despite ending the streak? Vince will feel pretty damn stupid. I bet you Vince is like, oh, I can't wait till Brock comes back and then Cena will be cheered out the building. No, Vince. Brock will be cheered out the building as Cena gets booed like he always does. Get with the times, Vince, and realize Cena's not your guy anymore. Shit. That's just sad, man. Brock goes from being one of the biggest heels of all time, ending the fucking streak, and now he's going to be one of the biggest baby faces of all time, ending John Cena's title reign at SummerSlam. That's just sad. Funny how things work. VT Reveals asks, when it comes to technical wrestling, what superstars, past or present, do you think mastered it the best? Chris Benoit, William Regal, Bret Hart, Lou Thesz, Bob Backlund, Mr. Perfect. Those are guys that come into mind who have mastered the art of technical wrestling. And question number 2, which of these 6 legends would you see winning in an Elimination Chamber match? Roddy Piper, Razor Ramon, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, or Edge? Ooh, that's a good question. Kind of like how I answered the Fatal 4-Way question, it all comes down to backstage politics. We all know Shawn is pretty much found Jesus at this point, so he's not going to backstage politic. Roddy Piper doesn't give a shit because he's there for a paycheck. Razor Ramon's probably drunk and he's probably there for a paycheck. So it comes down to Bret, Eddie, and Edge who will backstage politic more. Edge would probably side with Bret and not want to, you know, pretty much not want to step on Bret's toes. So he would back off. And Eddie's probably more worried about a fan trying to interrupt the Elimination Chamber match. So Bret would win this match because he would be like, it would be best for me to go in this match and go over and win this match, this huge Elimination Chamber. Be my first time in the Chamber, and I never won a Chamber. I'm the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. And if I don't win, this match would be 4 out of 10. So Yeah, Bret Hart would win this match for sure. Gemini S asks, what is your favorite rivalry in wrestling? My favorite all-time rivalry in wrestling? That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it, in all honesty. Like, I like a bunch of different rivalries. But if I were to choose my favorite all-time rivalry, it'd probably have to be, like, Rock versus Triple H. Just because, like, you know, when I started watching wrestling, they were feuding for the IC belt. And then these guys were feuding for the world title. And so I got to see these guys naturally progress, you know, through the card and all that other stuff. And I got to see them fight for a mid-card belt and then fight for the world title. So in all honesty, it'd probably Rock versus Triple H would probably be one of my favorite rivalries. Reed 19 asks, did WWE miss a huge opportunity by having Steen in a commercial for the video game as opposed to having them appear as a surprise on WWE TV? No, because, you know, Sting coming out as a surprise on TV, yeah, boost the ratings a little bit, but a lot of fans would be pissed off that the WWE didn't promote it. So a lot of fans would be like, how dare the WWE not give Sting the respect that he deserves? How dare WWE not try to promote the icon Sting on Monday Night Raw? This is bullshit. That's what a lot of wrestling fans would have said, that they didn't do their best to promote Sting and they're treating Sting like a jobber. See, surprises in wrestling only work for people who are on the current rosters. It doesn't matter what promotion or what company. It's people who are current guys that are always 24/7 wrestling. Like, say, for example, if you're in ROH and AJ Styles, you know, who just finished TNA, and you want AJ Styles to do a surprise run in on ROH, that's fine because AJ Styles is a current wrestler. But say if you're in ROH and somehow you got a Hulk Hogan to come to your event, you want to promote the shit out of that because you know that's more ticket sales and more eyeballs on the product. With Sting, he is not someone that's going to be a current wrestler on the roster. He is not someone that's going to be wrestling 24/7 or do house shows. So if you have him come out as a surprise, that would piss off a lot of fans because a lot of fans think WWE would be disrespecting Sting by not giving him the proper respect he deserves of having a huge announcement, having like a huge night where it's all dedicated to the Stinger. So in all honesty, no, the WWE did not do the wrong move by having a surprise return for Sting because that would just be stupid on their part. Sure, the ratings would be boosted up a little bit, but not a lot of people would be able to check it out. I mean, some people might be busy. You know, people have social lives outside of just watching Monday Night Raw. You know, some guy could be at dinner with his wife, and all of a sudden his friend texts him and says, hey, dude, Sting's on WWE. And he's like, what the fuck, man? I'm at dinner right now. How the hell can I go check this out? So, in all honesty, man, they did the right move. I know some fans would disagree with that, but when it comes down to legends of any sport, you promote the fact that they're going to be there. If it's a current guy who's going to be with your product for a while, a surprise is good. But when it comes down to legends overall, you promote the fact they're going to be there. And so the WWE made a smart move, in my personal opinion. Number 2, who would win in the match between Shark Boy and Stone Cold DT? Shark Boy, because he at least was on a mainstream company. At least he was on a mainstream company. Give me a shell, yeah. Final Loomis asks, what do you think of the storyline in late 2002 where Dawn Marie was involved with Tori Wilson's real-life father, and then they married and Tori's father died after? It was pretty damn hot because we got to see some Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie afterwards. I felt Tori was terrible at acting. Oh my God. When she was like crying about her dad dying, it was so bad. It was not a good storyline, but it was definitely worth it just to see Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie have some lesbian action. That's for damn sure. And what did you think of Sean O'Hare in WWE in 2003 when he used to say, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know? I didn't care for him. In all honesty, when it came down to 2003, I didn't really care for that year in wrestling. That was kind of when I was like tuning out of wrestling for a little bit, just because I was just like, not really that many guys I like anymore. Triple H was becoming unlikable because he was burying talent, and I always felt Kurt Angle should have just been like the undisputed WWE champion, and Brock Lesnar I wasn't ever really a big fan of. I didn't really get to see much of Sean O'Hare, in all personal opinion, and that's just it. I don't really have an opinion on Sean O'Hare, man. Bubblegum flavored steroids asks, what did you think of Carlito's debut in 2004? It was good because, you know, you had him come in and he beat Cena for like the United States title, if I remember correctly. I mean, Cena just had, you know, that big best of 7 series with Booker T that ended like at No Mercy. And then here comes Carlito, a dude that we only seen from video packages eating apples and stuff. And he beats John Cena for the United States title. Man, dude, you really thought they had some big things planned for Carlito. Sad that they never really did. And what if Cena died tomorrow? Would fans how would fans react? Some fans would just be sympathetic and be sad that someone died. Other fans would just jump in joy and be like, yay, the guy who buries all the talent is gone. Woohoo. That's really how some fans would react. And in all honesty, how I would react, I'd be sad because, you know, to me, no matter who you are and what you do on TV, you're still a person in my book. That's just the bottom line. You're still a person in my book. And it's just sad if someone died of natural causes. Now, if John Cena went batshit crazy and he pulled a Chris Benoit, I wouldn't feel sad for him whatsoever. But if, let's say, Cena died of randomly of an enlarged heart, I'd feel sad for him. I'll just be sad that we lost, you know, someone in this world, and especially someone that I've been watching on TV. So that's just my personal opinion. Randy Bushsete asked, why do I get a feeling that you lie in some of your Q&A videos about questions asked about your personal life? I don't lie. I try to tell the truth to you guys. I know a lot of people don't believe me, but I don't lie to you, Randy. If you guys, you're not the first person, Randy, to have asked this question. I believe like Q&A number 20, someone asked the same exact question. I say, nah, man, I tell you as much as I can. I don't like to go too detailed about my life because really I like to use these Q&As to answer more wrestling and sports related questions. You know, live questions get popped up, but I really like answering the wrestling and sports related questions. So I don't really like to go detailed in my life. If you want to know more about me, add me on Facebook if you can find me. What did you think of Ashley Massaro? Oh, I thought she was hot. Definitely one of my favorite Diva Search winners. She was not good in the ring, that's for damn sure. She sucked in the ring, but she was definitely damn hot. She did good on Survivor too. Lino Gino actually asked, what do you think of the Diva Search WWE had several years ago? It was definitely interesting, especially because you were trying to get new divas that the WWE desperately needed at the time. Because back then, in like 2004, a lot of their divas that were like mainstays and staples were kind of leaving the company, kind of finding the outside sources to make money. Like they were just pretty much gone. And the 2004 Diva Search actually produced, the 2004 and 2005 Diva Search, I should say, actually produced, you know, divas actually stay with the company for at least 4 to 5 to 6 years. So really, it did a good job, and I found them entertaining. I felt the segments they did was actually hot and interesting, unlike, you know, later Diva Searches where they were just doing absolutely nothing. So I really did enjoy the Diva Search when it first started. And would a feud with Dwayne Johnson and Randy Orton be good? Yes, it would be good, especially if you had Randy Orton be a heel and Dwayne be a face. Because really, to be honest, look at it. These guys are both third-generation superstars. You can argue both of them are some of the greatest third-generation superstars of all time. You can just build it off of, you know, it's a huge legacy match. You know, you have Randy Orton defending the Orton legacy, and you have Rock defending the Rocky Johnson and High Chief Peter Maivia legacy. So really, to be honest here, you could build a great match between these two. I think these two would work wonders inside of the ring. I've been personally wanting to see a Randy versus Orton versus Rock match one-on-one. I felt the perfect time would be when Randy Orton was the legend killer and you had him versus The Rock. I think that would have been a great match at WrestleMania 20, just them one-on-one. Screw Mick Foley to the side, just have Randy Orton versus The Rock. That would have been completely awesome and completely fine to me. Hopefully WrestleMania 31, we could get that opportunity of Randy Orton versus The Rock, hopefully, but I highly doubt it. But I think it would be a good match for sure. Lona Low asked, who was your favorite Diva Search winner, and did you ever vote for anyone? Ashley Massaro was my favorite Diva Search winner, in my personal opinion. She was just amazing to me. You know, Christy Hemme had a little bit of favoritism for me because she was a redhead and all that stuff, but Ashley Massaro was definitely my favorite. And as for voting for someone, yeah, I voted for Ashley, because remember when she gave out her number? I was one of those little marks that called her. Yeah, I was like a fucking little kid. I called that number, it went to voicemail, and I said something along the lines, I think you're beautiful, huh? And I hope you're in the Diva Search. And that's all I said. It went to her voicemail. I didn't even get to talk to her because she was like way fucking busy. But I did leave her a freaking voicemail saying that. So yeah, I did vote for someone. I vote for Ashley Massaro because she gave out her number. I fucking called it. And what did you think of Stacy Keibler when she was on Dancing with the Stars in late 2005 and when it premiered in January 2006? I actually watched Dancing with the Stars back then because Stacy Keibler was one of my favorite divas to look at. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll watch this Dancing with the Stars. And I think she lost to a football player, right? She lost to a football. I can't remember which football player was it. I want to say it was one of the Barber twins or, you know, fucking cornerback. But I can't remember who she lost to. But yeah, she did good. She actually did really good on that show. You know, she reached like what, second or third place, I think, on Dancing with the Stars. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know she did very, very good. And I believe that was the first season of Dancing with the Stars. But yeah, I thought she did wonderful. I watched Dancing with the Stars every week. Who did she lose to? That's gonna bug me now. Who she lost to? I know she lost to a football legend. That's for damn sure. I think it was did she lose to Jerry Rice? Was Jerry Rice on that season of Dancing with the Stars? I gotta look that up later. But yeah, she did really good on Dancing with the Stars. I watched that shit every week because of her. And no, I did not watch Jericho's season of Dancing with the Stars, if anyone wonders. Shawara Horror asked, have you ever had a hot teacher? Oh, yeah. I've had, you know, probably 2 or 3 hot teachers. One named Miss Blyberg, my history teacher in the 10th grade, and I was her TA for the 12th grade. She was pretty damn good looking. Miss Kizak, was it Kizak? Kitchens? No, Kitchens was the 3rd grade teacher. Kizak was my 4th grade teacher. And I'm trying to blank on another one. Well, I thought this teacher was pretty good looking. A lot of people didn't, but there's this one teacher named Miss Young who I thought was good looking. So yeah, I've had my fair share of good looking teachers. In college, not so much. I haven't been lucky with the good looking teachers in college. Hopefully that will change pretty damn soon. And then you asked, have you ever had a mean teacher? Not necessarily. I never had a teacher that, you know, like everyone talks about that's just like an outright dick or bitch. I've always had, you know, like sarcastic teachers, but I never really had a teacher that was just like rude and crude and I just couldn't stand. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always had, you know, pretty chillax teachers. I've always been one of those lucky people with teachers. You know, there's this website called Rate My Professor, just going off topic a little bit. There's this one website called Rate My Professor, and I always use it to, you know, find my college classes, you know, to see which teachers are cool or not. So I go on this website, and then it turns out that, oh, great, I signed up with a teacher that everyone hates on this website. I'm fucked. And then I go to the teacher's classroom, and it turns out this is the coolest teacher I've ever met. So I don't know. I always get lucky with teachers. I haven't really met an outright terrible, mean teacher. I've always had, you know, the chillax, cool teachers, and if they're ever mean, they're just being really sarcastic on the inside. So I've been lucky with teachers, man. Really, really have. Brony Loney asked Q&A, what did you think of ECW when it returned in 2006 and when it ended and was replaced by NXT in March 2010? It was cool when ECW returned. There was definitely a buzz around it, but I just think that ECW, when it returned, it just wasn't at the right time. You know, 2006, like, you know, hardcore wrestling, it was kind of dying, man. Like, I know a lot of people love hardcore wrestling and, we need more blood and all that other crap, but it was just kind of dying, dude. It really was. And I was interested in it just to see what they were going to do. Eventually, it just became OVW 2.0. That's really what ECW became, was OVW/FCW 2.0. Like, if you graduated from the FCW class, here you are. You're on ECW now. Go freaking beat up all these losers. And that was just pretty much it. And NXT, I thought the concept was stupid when I first heard that. I was like, really? A game show? What the fuck is this shit? And turns out it was stupid, because look at the first season of NXT, how dumb that was. What did you think of Sheamus versus HAH feud and their match at WrestleMania 26? The Sheamus and Triple H feud was terrible because Sheamus did not go over in it, because Sheamus just came off a terrible freaking run as WWE Champion, man. He came off a terrible run as WWE Champion, and he really needed a big feud to solidify this guy was like a future main eventer. And here comes Triple H, actually going to feud with this guy. Holy crap, Triple H not really in a big WrestleMania match. I mean, if you looked at Triple H's history from, like, you know, 18 to like freaking 25, or even like, actually, let's look at 16 through 25. He's always been in like a big match or a WWF title match. And then here he is facing a young guy like Sheamus in a mid-card match out of all matches, and Sheamus does not go over. Fuck off. It did not help Sheamus whatsoever. And I feel that's another reason why Sheamus never really got over as a heel or as a character in general, because we can't take this guy seriously because he can never beat the really top guys in a strong way. I mean, he's never really pinned Randy Orton clean. He's never really pinned Cena clean. He's never really pinned Triple H clean. He's never really pinned Batista clean. He's like the redheaded stepchild of the Breakfast Club, man. This guy cannot beat any of the other Breakfast Club members clean. So, you know, it's just a sad fate for Sheamus. It's a shameful thing. Lobster head. Little Fish asks, what did you think of Sheamus made his debut on Raw and killed Jamie Noble, ending his career? I hated it because Jamie Noble was one of my favorite wrestlers. How dare you bring back that terrible memory inside of my head? How dare you? Because Jamie Noble was awesome. When he got that royalty check, And he said, "Idiot, we going to Applebee's," was one of the best promos I've ever heard in my life. And now you just brought back terrible memories of Jamie Noble getting his ass kicked by Sheamus. Come on, little fish. Really? I have to remind me of sad times in my wrestling life. What did you think of the Abe Washington show on ECW? It was good, especially at the time what ECW was doing, because like I said, it became OBW/FCW 2.0. It was good because, you know, you got a lot of guys who probably never would ever get the microphone on the show, give them a chance to talk and show their characters a little bit more. I think WWE needs a little bit more of that for the Raw, maybe even SmackDown. Heaven forbid SmackDown could have an interesting segment that people would check out and maybe build up some characters that really need it. You know, there's a lot of guys on the roster that I think would, a lot of guys and girls on the roster who I think would benefit if they had something like an Abraham Washington show on a SmackDown or something. Dave Lester asks, Q&A. Which Q&A video do you think was the worst that you did? Probably like my first Q&A ever on my channel. I think like big Q&A because I used to suck at making videos. What would happen if Sheamus got a tan? I would say he would lose a lot of interest. I'll be honest here. If Sheamus got a tan and you looked like a normal white guy, I think Sheamus would lose a lot of interest. I think part of his intrigue is that he is so pale. And in all honesty, I think that's what makes Sheamus interesting, is that he is very pale and he just looks different than a lot of superstars. Like, I think if he got a tan, he would just look dumb. I don't think I would be able to take this dude seriously. So, yeah, I think he would lose a lot of interest. Reginald D. Huff asks, Q&A, does Brie Bella look really unhealthy to you? Or does she just look real skinny? Really skinny. I don't really think she looks unhealthy. And what did you think of the Bella Twins debuted and Brie used to pretend to be Nikki? They used Twin Magic. I like Twin Magic in all honesty. Twin Magic was definitely one of my favorite things about the Divas division. It was definitely different because you forget, when Twin Magic was going on in the Divas division, we were getting boring ass shit there. There was nothing going on in the Divas division. And so we have these two twin girls doing Twin Magic. I liked it. I thought it was deceptive. I thought it was a good character development. So, in all honesty, I didn't mind when they used to do that. Q&A, what? Oh, yeah. I Love Warrior 525 asks, what did you think of when Umaga in an episode in Raw 2006 beat the crap out of Chris and Steve-O? I remember that episode. Fucking Steve-O was so down to do that, man. Steve-O was just like, beat the shit out of me. It was good because Jackass at the time was very popular by a lot of fans. You know, the MTV show was doing very good, and I believe they had a Jackass movie coming out, or at least a Jackass special. So it was very good to get some heel heat on Umaga. I don't remember the segment all too much, but I do remember Steve-O was just like wanting to get his ass kicked by Umaga. And what did you think of Cena gave the AA to Kevin Federline? I was actually there live for that, and so it was fucking awesome because, like, you know, Cena did that little rap, and I'd be spearing Britney. So I remember when they made that match of, like, or they made the challenge, and then Cena just goes and FUs Kevin Federline, and Melina was like, oh my god, I can't believe you did it. And Johnny Nitro was trying to be like a little pimp, but we all know Johnny Nitro won't do shit to Cena. So I loved it. It's one of my favorite Raw moments because, like I said, I was there live. And Nintendo fanboy will end this Q&A is, where do you see Sting wrestling at what pay-per-view? Well, it has to be a big one. I could see him wrestling at Royal Rumble. That would be a highly impossibility. But I think WrestleMania 31 is where we could see Sting. At least one WrestleMania or SummerSlam. That's where I believe we could see the icon, woo! Sting wrestling at a pay-per-view for WWE. And what did you think of Sting versus Hogan match at Bound for Glory 2011? Full thoughts on that match, go watch my vintage Bound for Glory 2011 review. But I did like that match a lot. It definitely showed wrestling fans that Hogan still got it, brother, that he can still control the crowd no matter what he does, dude. So I really did like that match. It wasn't a technical masterpiece, but it definitely was a match that, you know, controlled the crowd. And fuck sakes, you got Sting and Hogan out there. Ric Flair is fucking blading, and then Hogan turns face. It was fucking awesome. Like I said, if you want my 100% like full in-depth thoughts about it, go watch my Bound for Glory 2011 review. But for the most part, I did like that match. Once again, guys, thank you very much for sending in questions for the Q&A. I appreciate all the questions you send. 50 episodes down. That is fucking awesome. Let's get to 100. Let's get to 150. Let's get it to 200. Let's reach 1,000. That'd be amazing if I reach 1,000, but that's ways in advance. Remember, guys, to send in your questions for the Tuesday Q&A. Thank you all very much. Hope you guys enjoy. Battleground preview and predictions later on today, so hope you guys tune in for that. I'll see you all next time. Peace!